Hello, Vortex. It's something that I'd like to address because I lost yet another subscriber on Rumble, which is just too funny. It's too funny. Hi. It's too funny because a lot of people want to put me into a teeny tiny box because that's where they choose to live. Now, contrary to my seemingly conservative views, I am not a lover of America. I'm not a patriot. I'm not the slightest bit cool with anything that this country has ever done, okay? Now, I understand, that's right, I'm free. I'm free from your social norms. I'm free. Isn't that awesome? Don't you wish you could be free? Don't you wish that you could have a flip phone and not have to rely on the internet to stimulate your brain? Don't you wish you had a brain to stimulate? Don't you wish you hadn't thrown that away whenever you went to the Apple store? Anyway, yeah, so I'm not a patriot. I am very, very critical of this country. That doesn't mean that I hate this country, though. I know that I might say that sometimes, but I really don't. Because if I truly hated America, I wouldn't even bother criticizing it. I would have just left. I would have just left. I would have gone somewhere else that had a government that I agreed with more. I would go to a country with less media, less entertainment, probably move to India. Like, I think that's probably where I'd go. Or maybe somewhere in Africa. Because I've always been, like, way more interested in third world countries. It just seems like there's way more humility out there. And I just find it hard to believe that this is a Christian country when people worship stuff, you know? And so, like, I don't agree with preserving that at all. I don't agree with, like, keeping that system alive because I don't think that people actually appreciate whatever freedom they think they have anyway. I just don't. I'll believe it when I see it, but this is all I see, okay? This is all I see people do, so freedom and liberty, my ass, okay? But many people will accuse me of being unappreciative or ungrateful or I have no idea how good I've got it, like shit like that. Look, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You just want to pretend that you do because you really like the idea of yourself being superior to other people. It's like, it's a narcissistic thing, okay? Now I realize that I have the tendency to do that myself, okay? Everybody does. Nobody's perfect unless they're Jesus, okay? Are you Jesus? 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 Probably not. So, that being said, I know that the way that I talk is obnoxious because I'm not politically correct and I'm also very, very confetti-brained, as I call it. I'm very offensive because I don't live in a box, like I mentioned in the beginning. So, because you can't put your finger on me, it makes you uncomfortable. And I've noticed that people that are different or weird, or maybe they represent a particular perspective or way of looking at things that just doesn't suit your average American, all right? Because there are people, like outsiders such as myself, who are extremely obscure and abstract and weird and all that. It's like, if you can't put your finger on what we're all about, you're just going to point the finger. You're just going to say that, oh, we hate this, we hate that.
But something I've noticed, and I've mentioned this many times, is that whenever overly sensitive candy asses can't handle something that you just said, they accuse you of hating whatever you just criticized. So anybody that criticizes women and how badly they behave is called a misogynist. Am I right? Am I right, or are we right? Women cannot take criticism, but I'm sure that they can totally handle political office. I'm sure they can do that. I'm sure they're not going to crack. Now, the same goes for race. The same goes for religion. I know that my religion seems really hokey to a lot of people, and I don't care. If you think it's a cult, don't fucking go. So, it's funny to me how many people want to act like they're right about things. But if you're so right, why do you get so emotional when somebody else is wrong? Why do you care if somebody else is wrong? If you're so right, why don't you pat yourself on the back for being right? Why don't you thank God or your lucky stars or whatever the fuck you believe in that you don't have to be me? Why does it bother you so much that somebody doesn't have that opinion? Why does it bother you so much that somebody doesn't share your religion? Why does it bother you so much that people don't align with your so-called belief system? I'm just saying. If I really hated women, I'd tell them to keep having abortions. If I really hated America, I'd tell them to keep being degenerate. If I really hated Americans, I would tell them to keep voting. Okay? It's just ridiculous. People can't take criticism in this country. The pussification, as Carlin has called it, the pussification has totally happened. And I think it happened way longer, I don't know how to talk. I told you I don't know how to talk, all right? I think it happened a lot longer, or a long time ago. It happened a long time ago, just say that. I get so tripped up over my words. Like, I get so excited about the things that I'm talking about that I forget how to talk about them. And I'm sure that's another reason why people leave my channel too, because they're just frustrated with how I talk. But anyway, yeah, I think that people were already like really, really sensitive, because I had always noticed that, like, ever since I was a kid, I noticed how sensitive people are. And I know that social media has exacerbated this, but it didn't create anything. Because keep in mind, social media is satanic, alright? Satan doesn't create things. He just exploits what's already there. So, we all have an inclination to be narcissistic and terrible and stupid and naive about things, okay? But it's like technology and culture, materialism, all that stuff, it just really brings it out. It really brings it up to the surface. And so, I've never believed that this country was Christian. I've never believed that this country was conservative. And I guess that's why I never thought of myself as conservative, because I don't agree with war and I don't really like guns. And I'm not saying that you can't have one, okay? I'm not saying that, but I don't agree with the fetishization of firearms, okay? But yeah, I'm not in favor of war, and I'm not in favor of like overzealous patriotism and waving the American flag everywhere. Like, I just don't understand that. I will never understand this obsession with like, America! I love America! Like, shut the fuck up! Like, you were such a faggot. That's why I call y'all gaytriots, because you're so gay for this country. You don't mind when the country fucks you, dude. The country's been fucking you since you were born. And you fucking salute a flag. You salute a flag to like celebrate this fuckery. And
now that it's like actually affecting your pocketbooks, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. Now that it's affecting your shitty ass beer, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. It's just so retarded. Like, the people that live here are just so stupid that, like, I really want to believe the AI psyop. I really want to believe it. But anyway, I know that people find me very disagreeable because it's like they want me to be things that I'm not. Honey, this whole country is comprised of a bunch of plebeian sheep. Why don't you just look to them for the answer? Why don't you just look to them to tell you the same regurgitated bullshit? Like, we're gonna vote these people out. Don't you love that shit? Like, all the slogans and the hashtags and the trends, they prove over and over and over and over and over and over and over how dumb everybody is. And yet you still think that this is a society that is worth salvaging? Are you kidding me? They take selfies. They make memes. They think memes are funny. They listen to podcasts. They watch people sit in front of a giant microphone and talk into it for 3 fucking hours about the same shit. And it's not weeding out the politicians. It's not making them not tax the fuck out of us and give all of our money to people that don't even live here, okay? Like, your fucking podcasts aren't doing shit for this world, dude. But everybody does it because they think that that's the way that we're gonna get ahead. We just do what everybody else does. We live in the freest country in the world, right? Right? That's why we march in lockstep with everybody else. Because we're so free! We're so free! That's why we stare at a phone the majority of the day. Because we're so free! Like I said, technology. What did I say? I don't remember. Like I said, I don't even remember what I said. Progressive abortion. Oh, yes, yes. Technology is progressive abortion. It's true. It's true. It's like these kids aren't allowed to have a childhood anymore because their parents stole that from them. Their parents stole that from them because their parents got addicted to phones, okay? So what kind of parent do you think they're gonna be? And they have to document every fucking thing. They have to, like, oh, look at my kid doing that. I will never understand this. I will never understand this culture. Taking pictures and videos and all this shit. Why can't you just remember things, man? People have always wanted to do that. People have always needed, like, a recorded event of something, you know? But here's the problem with that. It's so easy to manipulate that information, just like you can doctor a photo and you can crop and edit things in that photograph. It's like, hello, do people not realize that with technology comes manipulation? I just don't think they understand that. They don't understand psychology. They don't understand, like, how evil this world really is. And if you don't get, like, what's happening with, like, neurolinguistics and how all, like, the social norms are making people just behave, like, so automaton, you know? And I realize that's a thing that people do already. But it's really, really bad in Western countries because everybody just wants to fit in, okay? Well, I don't, obviously. I'm happily ostracized. But yeah, I just want to clear that up. Not a patriot.